Most people believe intelligence is about knowing more, about collecting facts, mastering skills, and holding on to certainty. But Adam Grant's Think Again reveals a deeper truth. Real intelligence is not about certainty. It is about flexibility. It is about the courage to question what we know, the humility to admit when we are wrong, and the wisdom to rethink. We live in a world that changes faster than ever before. Technology evolves. Cultures shift. Ideas spread. And yet, many of us cling to outdated beliefs, refusing to let go of what once felt safe. Certainty becomes a prison. It blinds us to new opportunities, traps us in old patterns, and keeps us from growing. Grant shows us that the most successful leaders, innovators, and thinkers are not those who cling to what they know, but those who are willing to rethink what they don't. They think like scientists. They test ideas. They embrace doubt. They welcome being wrong because being wrong is the first step toward being wiser. This book is not about changing your mind for the sake of it. It is about cultivating mental agility. It is about learning to see the world not as fixed but as fluid, not as certain but as evolving. In this cinematic summary, we'll explore why rethinking is the ultimate skill in a fast-changing world, how to escape the trap of overconfidence and embrace humility, the difference between preachers, prosecutors, politicians, and scientists, and why only the scientist's mindset leads to growth, and how rethinking can transform not just your career but your relationships, your decisions, and your life. This is not just a summary. It is an invitation. An invitation to stop clinging to certainty and start embracing curiosity. An invitation to stop defending your beliefs and start questioning them. An invitation to think again. Knowledge is power, or so we've been told. But in a world that changes faster than ever before, knowledge alone is not enough. What matters most is the ability to rethink. Adam Grant argues that the true measure of intelligence is not how much we know, but how willing we are to question what we know. In a fast-changing world, yesterday's truths can become today's myths. Yesterday's strategies can become today's failures. Yesterday's certainty can become today's blind spot. Think about how quickly industries evolve. Companies that once dominated, Kodak, Blockbuster, Nokia, fell not because they lacked knowledge, but because they refused to rethink. They clung to certainty, ignored new realities, and collapsed under the weight of their own stubbornness. Rethinking is the antidote to arrogance. It is the cure for stagnation. It is the skill that allows us to adapt, evolve, and thrive. Grant explains that rethinking begins with humility. The humility to admit we don't know everything. The humility to accept that we might be wrong. The humility to see doubt not as weakness, but as strength. Humility opens the door to curiosity. And curiosity fuels growth. When we are curious, we ask questions. We explore possibilities. We challenge assumptions. We discover new truths. Rethinking also requires courage. Courage to let go of old beliefs. Courage to embrace uncertainty. Courage to stand alone when everyone else clings to certainty. Consider the scientists who revolutionized medicine, technology, and physics. They were not the ones who defended old theories at all costs. They were the ones who questioned, doubted, and rethought. They were the ones who embraced the discomfort of being wrong, because being wrong was the path to discovery. Grant warns us about the danger of mental rigidity. When we cling to certainty, we stop learning. When we stop learning, we stop growing. And when we stop growing, we fall behind. The world rewards those who rethink. Leaders who adapt inspire trust. Innovators who rethink create breakthroughs. Individuals who rethink build resilience. Part 1 of Think Again teaches us that rethinking is not optional. It is essential. It is the ultimate skill in a world where change is the only constant. The lesson is clear. Don't cling to certainty. Embrace curiosity. Don't defend old beliefs. Question them. Don't fear being wrong. Celebrate it. 'Cause every time you rethink, you grow. And every time you grow, you climb higher. Confidence is often celebrated as a strength. We are told to believe in ourselves, to trust our instincts, to project certainty. But Adam Grant warns us of a dangerous trap. Overconfidence. Overconfidence is the illusion of certainty. It is the belief that we know more than we do, that our perspective is complete, that our judgment is flawless. And in a world that changes constantly, overconfidence is not strength. It is weakness. Grant calls this the armchair quarterback syndrome. It's when people think they understand complex problems after only a glimpse. They speak with certainty, but their knowledge is shallow. They cling to their opinions, but their evidence is thin. The danger of overconfidence is that it blinds us, makes us ignore new information, makes us dismiss opposing views. It makes us double down on mistakes instead of rethinking them. History is filled with examples of overconfidence leading to disaster. Doctors who misdiagnosed patients because they refused to question their initial judgment. Leaders who ignored warnings because they believed they couldn't be wrong. Companies that collapsed because they clung to outdated strategies. Overconfidence is seductive because it feels safe. Certainty gives us comfort, makes us feel in control. But that comfort is an illusion, keeps us from learning, adapting, and growing. The antidote to overconfidence is humility. Humility is not weakness. It is strength. It is the recognition that we don't know everything, that we can be wrong, that we must stay open to new ideas. Humility creates space for curiosity. When we admit we don't know, we begin to ask questions. When we accept we might be wrong, we begin to seek evidence. When we embrace humility, we begin to grow. Grant explains that humility is the foundation of wisdom. The wisest people are not those who know the most, but those who know how much they don't know. They are not afraid of doubt. They welcome it. They are not afraid of being wrong. They see it as the path to being right. Escaping the trap of overconfidence requires practice. Means challenging our assumptions. Means seeking out opposing views. It means testing our beliefs against evidence. It means thinking like scientists, always questioning, always testing, always rethinking. Part 2 of Think Again teaches us that confidence without humility is arrogance. But confidence with humility is wisdom. The lesson is clear. Don't cling to certainty. Embrace humility. Don't fear being wrong. Celebrate it. Because every time you admit you don't know, you open the door to learning. And every time you learn, you climb higher. Every day we engage with ideas. We defend them, debate them, and promote them. But Adam Grant warns us that the way we approach ideas determines whether we grow or stay stuck. He describes 4 mindsets: preacher, prosecutor, politician, and scientist, and shows us why only one truly leads to transformation. The preacher mindset emerges when we feel our beliefs are sacred. We defend them as if they are holy truths. We preach to others, trying to convert them, but we rarely question ourselves. The danger of the preacher mindset is that it blinds us to evidence. We cling to our beliefs, even when the world proves them wrong. The prosecutor mindset emerges when we feel the need to prove others wrong. We attack, we argue, we cross-examine. We focus on winning debates rather than discovering truth. The danger of the prosecutor mindset is that it makes us adversaries instead of learners. We may win arguments, but we lose opportunities to grow. The politician mindset emerges when we seek approval. We tailor our words to please others, to gain votes, to win popularity. We say what people want to hear, not what we truly believe. The danger of the politician mindset is that it makes us inauthentic. We sacrifice truth for acceptance. And then there is the scientist mindset. The scientist does not cling to beliefs as sacred. The scientist does not attack others to win. The scientist does not seek popularity. The scientist seeks truth. The scientist tests ideas, questions assumptions, and welcomes being wrong because being wrong is the first step toward being right. Grant argues that the scientist mindset is the only path to growth. It allows us to rethink, relearn, and evolve. Keeps us humble, curious, and open. It transforms mistakes into discoveries, failures into lessons, and doubt into wisdom. Consider the innovators who changed the world. They did not preach old truths. They did not prosecute dissenters. They did not seek popularity. They thought like scientists. They questioned, tested, and rethought. And in doing so, they climbed higher. Part 3 of Think Again teaches us that the way we think matters as much as what we think. If we cling to the preacher, prosecutor, or politician mindsets, we stay stuck. But if we embrace the scientist mindset, we grow. The lesson is clear: don't preach. Don't prosecute. Don't politic. Think like a scientist. Question everything. Test everything. Rethink everything. Because the scientist mindset is the key to conquering the mountain within. Adam Grant's Think Again is more than a book. It is a challenge. A challenge to let go of certainty, to embrace curiosity, and to rethink the way we see ourselves in the world. We've explored why rethinking is the ultimate skill in a fast-changing world. We've seen how overconfidence blinds us, and how humility opens the door to wisdom. We've uncovered the 4 mindsets: preacher, prosecutor, politician, and scientist, and discovered why only the scientist mindset leads to growth. The message is clear. Intelligence is not about how much you know, but about how willing you are to rethink. The strongest leaders, the most innovative thinkers, and the wisest individuals are not those who cling to certainty, but those who embrace doubt, test their ideas, and evolve. This is not just about changing your mind once. It is about cultivating a lifelong habit of rethinking. It is about choosing curiosity over comfort, humility over arrogance, and growth over stagnation. The courage to think again is the courage to grow. The courage to admit you don't know. The courage to say, "I was wrong." The courage to climb higher every single day. So ask yourself, what beliefs are you clinging to? What assumptions need to be questioned? What truths need to be rethought? Because the world doesn't belong to those who know the most. It belongs to those who are willing to think again.